All right. Good morning, our wonderful people. We are so sorry to be tardy, 2 minutes tardy. So, welcome to the program. As usual, help us to share, like, subscribe, all those things that we have to do for our people to get this information. I am overly excited. You can see that we have a guest on the screen.
Yes,
My
yes.
brother is here, our tenacious, persistent, consistent brother is here with us. He's the lecturer of the year, if you ask me. So get
Yep.
ready, get your pen, get your notebooks, and get ready to learn. Especially like putting out, our brothers and sisters, mainly our brothers. This is the kind of things that we want you guys to be doing. Go and read and learn about what's going on, so we can use this our education to do some, mass education and teach our people what they need to know. So let me stop running my mouth. Help us to share as usual. My name is Mona Chimsag and I'm here in Houston, Texas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my sister. Yeah, we're excited. It's amazing. And this is what we tell our men. We don't have problem with you leading, but we want you to be in charge. We want you to be responsible and be in charge. Me, I want to be a lady and just be doing my thing behind and following you. I don't have problem with that at all.
Me too. Me
But the
too.
only time I will step in front of you is if my children are involved and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. I'll remove my cap of womanhood, take up another cap, and go in front to save my children. So please, let's not get it twisted. Nobody is trying to take your position. You are the head. It will involve responsibility. Know what you should know and step in front and start leading. Then we move. We don't want to move. So we're excited with bringing our brother to you. This our brother, our show, he does not miss it. He will be on time. If we are running late, he's sitting waiting. He will follow. People will see the difference now. Let me know. Run. So my name is Ekwi. I'm just so excited. My name is Ekwi, and we live in Lexington. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you. Continue to help us to share. We'll play a video. Why we're sharing, so that we will not just keep quiet as it's going. My sister is going to pull up the video. This is what our people want. Thank you.
Yes, yet another interpretation of things you are seeing, which you need to understand because they will come to haunt you in no time at all. There is a recent addition to the conditions the APC had placed on the pathway of their aspirants for who will become their candidate. That condition is that all aspirants on their platform, on the APC platform, will have to commit to preserving the 1999 Constitution if they manage to become candidate and win election. As innocuous as it may sound to you, because we all know that whoever wins the election will swear to defend and uphold the atrocious 1999 Constitution. But because of what Ninas has done, because of the onslaught against that Constitution by those who are choking under it, because of the determined push to take down that Constitution and end the unitary union anchored on it and go to transition, the proprietors of Nigeria, who also happen to be the proprietors of APC of now, are now trying to make assurance that that constitution will not suffer if we go to this election, because there's this, convergence of demand against that constitution. The first big success of the Ninas Alliance is that a strong consensus has been built against the constitution that make the indigenous nationalities slaves in their land. The Jaw wants the constitution down. The Yoruba wants the constitution out. the Middle Belt won the constitution defeated and removed. All of us, the owners of the lands that the world calls Nigeria and the assets in the lands, those who have been choking from the unitary impositions of the Caliphate against all by way of that constitution, which came through Decree number 24 of 1999. And so where we are now is that the apprehension has come to the point where the APC has put a condition that people must say to them in private, must commit, must covenant with them that constitution will not be touched if they become president. If we take it further, we will then see that all this talk about consensus, they can't even get to primaries. They don't know how to get to election because the owners of the land say they don't want election. So they're eroding everybody, and they really don't know what to expect. And so we have to build on our successes of having delegitimized that constitution successfully. That constitution is dead. All the people who are hanging on it, all the things built on it, all the institutions built on it, including the claim that we submitted as sovereignty that is in the preamble, all of them are going down. That claim is going down. The second claim that we wrote the constitution is going down. The 36 states that they were indiscriminately created, and the 704 local government areas carved out to suck revenue to people who bring nothing to the table. All of those things are going down. The 68 items of exclusive list that seize the assets of the owners of the land, the oil and gas of Niger Delta, the ports of Lagos, the bitumen of Ondo, the limestone of Benue, all of the right to even generate electricity, which is now confiscated by that exclusive list, the right to elect who will govern us, all those things are going down with that constitution. And so those who are heading to that election with the people inviting them, let it be made clear that it is a contestation between our sovereign retrieval of our sovereignty. Look at the map you see behind. Those who are holding us hostage in our ancestral lands, holding us in bondage via that constitution, are the ones dragging you to go to election to renew the life of that constitution, which is why the forces of heaven has also opened their mouth to tell everybody that that is their paramount concern, that that constitution must be saved. APC says their candidate the aspirant that will become candidate must covenant, must swear to them that he will not touch that constitution when he gets there, if he becomes president. I'm sure in the PDP circle, there will also, because the same caliphate controls the two-party platforms, whether we want to tell ourselves the truth or not. And so I will not be surprised. This one is in the public space. I will not be surprised if there's a similar thing in PDP to say, assure us that you will not touch the constitution when you get there. Whereas the people being represented by these candidates are only after one thing now. The East, the West, the Middle Belt, everybody wants that constitution out of their lives. So why is it now a condition for the candidates that will go to election? Can we now see that that election is a make or mass, is a rendezvous for determining what will happen to this union of Nigeria? If we are stupid enough, like we said in a previous video, if those who are choking, those who have been rendered slaves under the constitution imposed by the Caliphate, by the Fulani, if the rest of Nigeria will be stupid enough, will be reckless enough to go with them to election, you are being told by that condition, you are being told that we can give you power, but your sovereignty will remain detained. That's what the election of 2023 will represent if we go with them. Whereas our own salvation is in not going with them. Our own salvation is in saying to them, this constitution, whoever wins election will have to swear to govern by, to defend and govern by that constitution. Therefore, we will remain the slaves we are under that constitution. And so we are not going to any election. the salvation of the rest of Nigeria from the killings that are happening to them, from the mass expropriation that has happened to them, in which the federal government own all the federal government that is owned by the Fulani now own all their assets, in which their populace are being impoverished just by sheer expropriation of all of what represents economic assets. We already know them: the ports, the oil and gas, the bitumen, and all the solid minerals in between. Even the power to refine petroleum products have all been confiscated, because I can buy petrol, I can buy crude oil and refine, but the Constitution of Nigeria says it is only the federal government that has exclusive right to do that. I can organize my security. It's only that Constitution that says I cannot touch gun. So how am I going to organize security against invaders, Fulani invaders that are killing all around the place? So, and we now come to what do we do with the situation in which those who are going to election are now more or less going to trade away our freedom, our sovereignty, our self-determination, because they want power they will hold for 4 years. And then the Constitution is preserved, the union of death is preserved. A few people who are coronated will make a few billions. We saw Obasanjo was president for 8 years. What did he change for the Yoruba? Are they not on the streets now crying? Jonathan was president for 6 years. What did he change? And we hear all kinds of stories about how he's the one that they will have to put in forward. We have defeated this constitution. We have defeated the caliphate that imposed it. And they're looking for how to get to election and how to control the day after the election. We know that their calculations around how Jonathan will suddenly become their candidate revolves around the goodwill that Jonathan has that may help them secure the journey to the election, which is already suffering. And more importantly, that if Jonathan is the one that becomes their candidate and the winner of the election, he is done 4 years before, so he will only do 4 years. And of course, since they have secured a prior commitment that constitution will not be touched, they will retain they will get their strategic, they will achieve their strategic objective of preserving that constitution and the union of master and servant it imposes on the rest of us. Of course, those who become ministers and all kinds of things that the government share from Abuja will make some money, but that's where it ends. So our sovereignty, our freedom is now to be traded for our, for the power that a few will, hold for. If that's what's at issue. And so we needed to inform our people the meaning of that condition that was attached. The caliphate is now they're in a chokehold. The constitution is in a pinfall. And the only way they can maneuver is to drag us to election so that they have made up their mind to, just let these people have power for a few years, 4 years, but at the expense of our sovereignty that is detained in that constitution that will stay. Peter Obi that have been invited to Downing Street in London, that is what it is. It is to firm up that commitment that in case you become, I was talking about PDP that might have that condition will be across board. That nobody will touch that. Anybody who is telling you he's going to do restructuring if he becomes president, including Atiku. We've said it in a previous video. We engaged Atiku Abubakar in 2016. If you want to see what we discussed with him, get on YouTube, search the video title, Nigeria at the Valley of Decision. You will see the 2016 video on AIT, where we went to report what transpired between us and what we thought was the statesman speaking at the time. But it turned out he was just another politician because what we concluded was not done. And then it became basis of going to become candidate for PDP in the convention ahead of 2019. That was how Atiku became. He was now advertising himself as the one that will come and do restructuring, and everybody became articulated thinking he would do so. I inform you on behalf of NINAS that Atiku Abubakar's definition of restructuring begins and ends with the National Assembly. Not at all the restructuring we're talking about that will go to the foundation of whether we want to be in union or not. And so if you fall for that bogey that Atiku will do restructuring, you are just lying to yourself, because if you go to research what transpired and what he has done since that 2016 to now, has he lifted a finger in?
All right, we'll stop this video here. Our people have been punked for the past 60 something years. Stories upon stories. They tell us things that will never happen. The more we look, the less we see. So our topic today, where in the world is, are we still on? Where's my screen? Sorry. Our topic today, I don't know what's wrong with my video. It's blacking out on one side like it's possessed. So continue to help us to share and like. Our brother is going to come in soon and give us the information that we all lacking and do need. So as usual, continue to help us to share. So our topic today, as we said earlier, is the futility of individual escape from the Caliphate Prison called One Nigeria. The futility of individual escape from the Caliphate Prison called One Nigeria. According to NINAS, those operating Nigeria with an imposed fraudulent unitary constitution are committing treason against the rest of Nigerians. Those operating Nigeria with an imposed fraudulent unitary constitution are committing treason against the rest of Nigerians. So don't let anybody punk you into telling you, oh, you can't say anything now. You can't say anything now that Tinubu is in charge. No. All of them are committing treason against the rest of us. So with the defeat and delegitimize of the 1999 Constitution by NINAS via the Constitutional Force Majeure on December 16, 2020, the Nigerian masses are getting prepared to go into transitioning for immediate union reconfiguration or immediate union dissolution, depending on the outcome of the stay or leave multi-regional referendums. So today, our brother, Blessed Isi Momodu, a pharmacist, a German-trained pharmacist for that matter, not Zoo, and the CEO of the West End Pharmacy in Germany. He's here to give us some more insights as to what we need to know. He's a father, he's a husband, father of 3 lovely children, of course. He's an Assam man from Great Edo Kingdom in Lower Niger Federation. He's also an ardent reader, a thorough and well-detailed historian you will hear for yourself today, who has painstakingly followed the events and history of his people, pre-colonial, colonial, and neo-colonial era. He's currently and effortlessly working for the destruction of the satanic unitary 1999 constitution, or the unitary country called Nigeria, that has made our life meaningless for every one of us, especially the indigenous peoples. So, my brother, I will go ahead and allow you to formally introduce yourself, and we'll pull up the rest of the video. Please continue to help us to share. You know, they are blocking and blocking and blocking. So help us to hit the like button. Continue to hit the like button as you as you watch. That helps a great deal. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, thank you very much, my sister. Thank you for the very nice introduction. Like you said, yeah, there's need for me to introduce myself because we are now in an era of forgery and rewarding criminality in this Luciferous One Nigeria. So, like you said, I am Blessed Isi Momodu. I'm an Issa man, a male from a donation. And a donation is part of the Lower Niger Federation. I'm also a signatory to the Constitutional Force Majeure declared by NINAS on the 16th of December 2020. It was on this day that the owners of the land, under the umbrella of Ninas, collectively, purposefully, democratically, energetically, delegitimized the fraudulent 1999 Constitution. So, from that day till now, Nigeria, one Nigeria as you know it, is a disputed project.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So I'm going to pull up the PowerPoints so that we can follow as we go. We have heard him that Nigeria is a disputed project. So anyone giving them money for them to go and fund their girlfriend's apartments in London, we are not paying for that.
Mm-mm.
We've already warned you. We've already told you that it's a disputed project, and that was since 2022. So make sure your girlfriends are packing the money in their stomach because they're gonna need to vomit it one of these days. Definitely not paying for it. Sister, did you see my screen?
Sorry.
Yeah, the screen is on, right?
Yes, yes, it's on. But eventually, we're going to remove the comments that we pinned so that we can see the lower part.
Oh, the bottom. Okay. Let's see.
Thank you so much, my brother. I'm happy when you mentioned that you're one of the signatories to the Constitutional Force Majeure, because sometimes when we tell our people that the indigenous peoples are there and they're working with Ninas, that you're not seeing them up and down, come out today, do this, do that, doesn't mean that they're not there. They're there. Why would they be there? So those that have been there, oh, who are the people that signed this, the Constitutional Force Majeure? This is one of them. And we are telling you that we have many hundreds that signed that document. And they are there asking for their land. Thank you so much. Let me not talk too much. So my brother, is amazing to have you here in this show today. So history has it that it was Chief Tony Inahoro that moved the motion for independence in 1953. Please, can you give us the history of Edo people as regards to their struggle for self-determination and liberation?
Yeah, thank you, my sister. When you say history, it's going to be volumes of books, but I will try here to just summarize some of the key developments, the heroic struggles of our Edo people in resisting injustice, marginalization, oppression, exploitation, and other. So, yeah, Edo State, as we know it, has been an independent nation as far back as 15th century. We had trade and diplomatic relations with key European powers then, notably Portugal. We enjoyed relative peace, progress, and development. But that was cut short in 1897. In that year, the British Vandals moved from the creeks to the Oba of Benin Palace, destroyed it, looted it, burnt it down, and exiled our royal father, Oba Oborame Nogbaisi, exiled him in Canada. The chief of army staff, his chief of army staff, or the chief of army staff of the empire, General Ologoshere, was betrayed. That man led guerrilla warfare for 3 years. He was eventually betrayed, captured, and was hanged. So among the cultural artifacts that they looted, outstanding one of them is this Queen Idia mask. The Queen Idia mask was the one General Obasanjo used in the first act of 1977, Festival for Arts and Culture. But when General Obasanjo asked the British people to release this ivory mask, telling them, we know we are not saying that you stole it, according to Obasanjo, we are not telling you that you stole it, but just for our festival. the British refused. So a replica was also done in Benin, and that's what they used for the festa. So coming back to Enahu, who is also an outstanding Edo son. Like you rightly said, yes, he moved the motion for independence in 1953. He did that not because, not out of recognition, but it's based on what he saw. They were living at that time, colonial period. So he saw or read about the massacre, the humiliation of Aba market women in 1929. Atone Nauru, as a young man, saw the massacre of coal miners in Enugu, in what we call Iba Valley Massacre of 1949. All these and other activities then motivated the young man to raise the motion for independence in 1953. But alas, the Fulani North said they were not prepared. Until 7 years later, we had our flag independence. That is, exchanges Union Jack for green, white, green. There was nothing like economic independence or political independence. The video you just played just now, our spokesman, Barrister Tony Nandi, up to today, they are nothing like political independence. They still go to London to go and get permission, to get directives on what to do. So that video just betrayed that there's nothing like independence. You know, you remember when this Craig, High Commissioner for UK, for UK in Lagos, in Abuja, threatened fire and brimstone if you don't go for election, as if we are Britain, you know. So you can see the arrogance they are displaying. So Anthony Nauro was also very active in Nadeco. Nadeco was the umbrella body of resistance movement against military dictatorship in Nigeria. So when they were exiled, when they came back, there was this Abdul Salam Abubakar's return to civilian administration. So, but Anthony Nauro was of the opinion that we cannot go to election now because there is a constitutional crisis. We cannot operate this constitution. But as you have it, Nadeco became divided. The Nauro Alfred Deleri was active in Port Harcourt Axis, formed the movement for national reformation. They said they were not going to election, but the Emil Oka and his group went into election and grabbed power in Lagos. The rest is history. You know, Anthony Nauro was also very active in Pronaco. In fact, he was the co-chairman with Wole Soyinka when the Pronaco had the Pro-National Conference. So from there, moved into this what we call movement for No Nigeria or movement for New Nigeria. So he has been very, very active until his dying days. So we also have Ambrose Ali, who is also a son of Edo land. Ambrose Ali was governor of Nigeria, of Bende State, successor state from Midwest. No, Midwest was the only constitutionally created fourth federating union region in Nigeria, in Nigeria at that time. So, having read the constitution of Midwest, it beheld on him that this pittance, this federally allocated formula, revenue sharing formula they are getting is a pittance. It's a slap in the face. He took the Shagari government in 1981, 1982 to court because of the revenue sharing formula. He won, but the Caliphate never forgave him, so he was booted out of power. So we also have Michael Imodu. Michael Imodu is a son of Edo nation. Michael Imodu is also known as Labour Leader number 1. Michael Imodu led the longest trade union dispute in Nigeria, 1945. He led the cola strike, that is cost of living allowance strike. That strike lasted for 2 days, 2 months. And Imodu, as a no-nonsense man, either he doesn't understand what is in the trade union parlance, collective bargaining. So either you accept what the demands the workers placed before the table, or you reap the consequence. So they were banning and unbanning and banishing him. So the Labour Institute in Ilorin was eventually named after him, Michael Imodu Institute. So We also have Professor Festus Iyayi. Professor Festus Iyayi was the leader of ASU, Academic Staff Union of Universities. As a leader, he was able to build an alliance between trade union, the student movement, and the NBA. Not this useless NBA we now have today, but the NBA under Alao Akaba Shorum. This was the golden era of struggle against injustice in Nigeria. But however, the Babangida regime reacted ferociously. They were booted out of the university. He disorganized the student union. They don't up to today. They no longer have student union. They now have student union government. We have also read in the press the other day that a student union government official has 63 personal assistants. You can see the decay. Yeah, as a student. So you see, they say the university is a microcosm of the macrocosm. So what they are useless people do at the center, they do at the local level. So that is that. So culturally too, we have from a donation, Jonathan Ihonde. Jonathan Ihonde through his satirical comedy, Hotel de Jordan, that was being aired in NTA in the 70s, in the 80s, through humor, expose the contradiction in the society. We have artists like Joseph Osayomore, who was also very active. The guy developed over the years, and he was also known as the fella Nicola Kokuti of Edo State. We have a digital boy, Victor Uwaifo. If you see Mami Water fame, never run away. Okay. Then we have Sonny Okosun. You all know Sonny Okosun, Ozidi. His mother is Igbo, from your tribe, from your nation. So, one of the songs he sang was Papa's Land. Papa's Land was released at the heydays of apartheid South Africa. So, if you now adapt that music to today's reality in Nigeria, you say Ijo for Ijo land, Igbo for Igbo land, Yoruba for Yoruba land, yeah, Esa for Esa land, Ibira in Ibira land, Ibirom in Ibira land, Tiv in Tiv land. So that is the burning question of our time, and we are happy that Ninas has answered that.
Thank you so much. Awesome. It's amazing to see how he broke it down. Some of these names he's called, if you tell me to call them, I won't even pronounce them well. And that's why we said that power belongs to the people. Politics is local. Security is local. Everything is local. The people know their boundaries. The people know their history. The people will call the names of their people that represent them. Not the fake politicians that maneuver themselves and got themselves to wherever they are going. We know what we're saying. As this go by, we're going to bring more of these locals, the natives, the indigenous peoples. We will bring them. They will come and use their mouth to tell you.
Hello? I'm
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you so much, brother Isimamodu. So ignorance is one of the tools used by the colonialists and the Western imperialists to keep the indigenous peoples, the owners of the land, perpetually under the yoke of slavery. Please, can you differentiate between one Nigeria, and Caliphate Nigeria? Please help us to break it down so that our people can get this thing. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Yeah, thank you, my sister. Actually, there's no difference between one Nigeria and Caliphate Nigeria. It's one and the same thing. Caliphate Nigeria, one Nigeria is the same. The only difference is that between Nigeria and one Nigeria and or Caliphate Nigeria. That's the difference. Nigeria, Caliphate Nigeria, or Nigeria, one Nigeria. So, you know that prior to independence, there were three regions. There were three regions prior to independence. So, they negotiated. in London, and they arrived at the conclusion that there should be a union in a federal system. That is union of constitution in a federal system. The northern region represented by then Ahmadu Bello, the western region by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the eastern region by Michael Okpara. Then we had the fourth region that was created 3 years after August 1963. Okay, the fourth federating union. So these were the four regions that formed Nigeria, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Federal Republic of Nigeria is union of constitution. Union of constitution. So what are the ingredients of a federal structure, of a federal state? They were present in Nigeria. Then they had their own constitution. They had trade and diplomatic relations abroad. They were in charge of their security. You know, so they also they adopted at independent. They adopted the Philippines recommendation for revenue sharing, the formula, which is 50% for the region, 35% for the region of origin, including the region of origin. That is, if you are producing oil, you retain 50%. Then 35% will be shared by the 4 regions. Then we have 15% that will go to federal. So that was really a federal structure. We didn't enjoy it. But through coup and counter coup, this structure was altered. I want to point it out here that the Ronsi Decree 34 of 1966 did not alter this regional structure, this federal structure, because we had the 4 regions intact. We had because after this, when the when the country was chaotic, what do you call it? This Ozogo coup failed, January 15th failed. Ironsi, as the most senior military officer, took over the mantle of leadership to stabilize the system. He said, okay, Konojuku, in charge of Eastern region, Adekunle Fajuyi, Western region, David Ejo, Midwest region, Usman Katsina, Northern region. So you can see that the 4 regions were still intact. Nobody knows what would have happened, but he was also cut short. But however, in Kataku. So, but the Decree 12 of 1967 by the Gowon administration, by the Gowon military administration, altered the federal structure, the agreed federal structure. So, from 1967 to date, Nigeria has been a unitary structure, not a federal structure. So this unitary structure is also referred to as one Nigeria. You know, during the Second Republic, during the MPN days, you know, they were bamboozling all of us with one nation, one destiny, one Nigeria, That's how the one Nigeria came into our consciousness, which we now emphatically reject, you know. So that is different between Nigeria and one Nigeria. This one Nigeria is also referred to as Caliphate Nigeria, because the Caliphate owns it. You cannot say anything, you cannot do anything. They determine what is to be done. I'll just give you an example, just an example, please. You know, Goodluck Jonathan, in his own wisdom, faith, there is need for censor to have appropriate correct count of men and women living in that enclave. And he appointed a very brilliant man, retired chairman, managing director of Nigerian Breweries, Festus Odumegu. Festus Odumegu opened his mouth and said, we must do this census as is according to international standard. That is, we must cut those living, not animals. You know what happened? Oh, the Caliphate was annoyed. One of their agents, Kwankwaso, flew from Kano to Abuja and told Goodluck Jonathan, this guy, will remove him. And what did Goodluck Jonathan do? The guy Odumegu was booted out. And the census up to today is never. This is why we don't have correct census in Nigeria. This is what is to happen there. So we'll come to, maybe we'll come to, if I have time, maybe we'll come to that. They are in effective control of power in so-called one Nigeria.
Thank you so much, because you're helping us. It's like puzzle to put history, in place, so that we can have proper perspective. Because people keep saying, from my own perspective, from my own. No. Please, this is not about you. It's not about any individual. It's about our collective interest. So the history and the events and the occasion must be the same thing. No need for lies, no need for unnecessary propaganda. We have to deal with facts. And thank God there are people alive till today that can give us these facts and put things in proper perspective for us. This one happened, then this one happened. Because this is what our people lived through. They saw it happen. It's not like they were sleeping and then it was happening. They were witnessing it, just like we are seeing all the one that is going on now with Jagaban and with all the other people. We are seeing these things. So is it tomorrow now? Monachi will have her own version, and I'll have my own version. No. That means somebody must be lying, and then some people must be telling the truth. And in this case, the indigenous people, the owners of the land, the true one, not the politicians, they are the ones we chose to believe, because they lived through it. They knew how their resources were stolen from them. They knew how everything happened, one after the other. I will allow my sister Mona to take on from now. Thank you so much, brother Isimamodu. Please, sister Mona.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was watching a documentary this week on how these colonial masters were doing, their biddings. And one of the things that came out from that documentary was that the so-called British enterprise said that they will never allow Nigeria to move forward because we are sitting on top of gold. Because, oil is considered a black gold.
Yeah.
We're sitting on top of a gold. And if they allow us to flourish, that would outdo everybody. So their goal from there on is to make sure there is chaos. There is, no future for us. That we're sure that we are in prison. They keep saying open air prison as if it pertains to one group of people, but it pertains to all of us. So for decades, individuals and groups have made failed attempts to free themselves, their resources, and people from this Caliphate prison called One Nigeria. Each time One Nigeria will intimidate, compromise, liquidate, capture, jail, or kill them. Please, can you elaborate more on this?
Thank you, my sister, for the question. But before I go into trying to answer the question, I want us to look at Ahmadu Bello's declaration just 12 days after the so-called flag independence. This will help as a guide to what is happening today. All the years, it was not on the front burner, but we thank our Heavenly Father that Ninas came out and brought it to limelight, into our consciousness. So permit me to just read, according to the Ahmadu Bello declaration, which was published on the 12th of October 1960. He said, and I quote, "The new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our grandfather Ottoman Danfodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We must use the minorities in the north as willing tools and south as conquered territory, and never allow them own their own future." Good. So, please let us look at some key words there. Ruthlessly prevent a change of power. The another key word there is minorities in the north as willing to. The third one, which is also very, which you must pay attention to, is never allow them to own their own future. So these three, we must never lose sight of these three. We went to sleep, and there's so much amount power that it has become very difficult until Nina Snack came, and that mountain is being leveled. So let us look at individuals who thought they were resisting, fighting against environmental degradation, economic exploitation, political marginalization, rising insecurity, decayed infrastructure, and endemic corruption. But you know that the caliphate, they see this as a challenge to their hold on power. So they react ferociously. One, by compromising the individual or group of individuals, intimidating the individual or group of individuals, judging individual or individuals, or outright liquidation. By liquidation means execution, killing. Then why did these attempts fail? These attempts failed because the problem was wrongly diagnosed. And you know, those people in the medical field, those of us in the medical, you see, if an ailment is wrongly diagnosed, there's every likelihood that the treatment is going to be wrong. And there's also every likelihood that the patient will die. So, all these attempts, wrong diagnosis of what is wrong. You understand? So, these attempts also failed. Attempt to leave the Caliphate prison also failed because of ulterior motives. Outstanding among them is greed, selfish market, what they call market, stomach infrastructure. Yeah. Then these attempts were mostly isolated effort at jailbreak. This reminds us of what Buhari said some 2 years ago, I think July 2021. He said, a dot in the cycle. If we can still remember. That shows no one individual, no one nation, no one group can have a jailbreak from the Caliphate prison.
Yep.
So, this attempt to escape from Caliphate prison, let me just give some examples, then we can now locate what happened to all of them or some of them. We had Isaac Adakaboro. Isaac Adakaboro is from Ijo. He saw the environmental degradation there. He saw the economic exploitation there. He saw the marginalization. He declared Niger Delta Republic on the 23rd of February 1966. That lasted for 12 days. He was captured, imprisoned, and eventually he died under mysterious circumstances in their war. Let us take a closer look at the genocidal war against Indigo between 1967 and 1970. I refrain from calling it civil war because the Caliphate narration, I don't buy the Caliphate narration for a civil war. This was outright genocide against Indigo, the destruction of Indigo. We also saw, we in the peripheral, we also suffered. Permit me to say that up to now, there has not been a formal request for reparation because the destruction was too much. 20 pounds or whatever is not enough. We remember the abandoned project, the abandoned property project, which was an euphemism for cornering all Igbo property outside core Igbo. So the Bible says the soul that sinned must die. So one Nigeria must answer for their sin. So this was the first attempt by a first-sighted Igbo nation to exercise their fundamental right to self-determination. But what happened? One Nigeria, you see, they said we will use the minorities in the north who carried out this genocidal elimination of the Indigo people. Were they not majorly minorities in the north? Danjuma and co. It is true. So we also have, I mentioned Abu Salih, who went to court. That also failed. He was prevented from getting his second term. Then we have Major Gideon Oka, who also they saw the marginalization, they saw the exploitation of minorities. So their sense then, their reading of the contradiction was that we have to take over a government. But I'm not a military person. I wouldn't know. the coup d'etat failed because they were not in command of troops. So how can you, as civil servant, think you can without commanding troops, you think you can dislodge military formation? So that coup failed, and they were liquidated. They were all those captured were massacred. So then we have Kensaro Wiwa. Kensaro Wiwa in his Mosop, Movement for the Survival for Golden People. He mobilized his people to resist environmental degradation, exploitation, oppression, marginalization, and all that. But what happened? The Caliphate reacted, and through his best friend, Caliphate hireling, Abacha, he was hung. Unfortunately, tomorrow is his 28th day anniversary of the hanging of Kensaro Wiwa. So then we have some other groups who have tried one way or the other. I will just mention some few of them. Massive movement for the survival of Biafra under Wazurike. We have to decide for yourself whether it is stomach infrastructure. So it was jailed, released, or compromised. You have to decide for yourself what happened to him. Then we have the Niger Delta Volunteer Force under Asari Dokubo. It was also jailed. You have to decide for yourself whether he's been compromised or not. Then we have the Odua People's Congress, funded by Frederick Fasheum, headed by Gani Adams. You know what happened? Okay. Then we have Avengers. So when Avengers came, those of us looking for shortcuts to freedom, they thought, hey, Avengers, oh, they will blow up. But what happened? Herioka is language in South Africa, Topolo, they are getting Jewish culture from the Caliphate fought against. So then recently we had NSAS. You know, people say the people when they hear God, they go hear when. NSAS, Nina told them, it is your police brutality. It is outside of the constitution, but they never listen. But see how they were massacred, you know. And then, last but not the least, we had this obedient movement. They're not the hear word, but see what happened. So all these are just what is making it difficult for individuals to escape from the Caliphate prison. Like our spokesperson, Barrister Onan, they used to say, I hang it there for now.
You yield the mic for now. Yes, my brother, they know they hear what, man. You know, in Igbo, they said in the TK. But for some reason, the same one in TK means they are hard of hearing. But when bomb explodes and the land shakes and the building falls, all of a sudden they can hear something is going on. So that's where that's where we find ourselves. Thank you so much for that information. Yes, a lot of them were in there for stomach infrastructure. They weren't really there for true freedom for our people. It's a matter of, oh, if I do my own gara, get my own share, you know, let me come out. Even the guy from your town, my brother, the one that called himself Labour Party, what's his name? Olo Shiomi. What is his name again?
Oshimole. You see how he got it?
You know, I know how to massacre people's name. Oshimole, no, Monoshi.
You can massacre Oshimole.
He came out acting like he was for the people. As soon as he got he actually jumped from the forest and think he can marry this beautiful girl and keep her as a wife. Okay.
The beauty and the beast.
The beauty and the serious beast.
I'm handsome.
All right, please continue to help us to share. You know, you can see our brother is giving us a lot of insight, a lot of information that we've been lacking, you know, because with information we are empowered, we're able to make an informed decision based on the facts, not from where, you know, from beer parlor discussion or motor park discussion, for based on fact. Because when we are, you know, working based on facts, then we are able to deliver something out of it. So according to the UN Special Rapporteur, Dr. Agnes Callamard, in 2029, she said that the 1999 Constitution is a pressure cooker for injustice and a threat to global peace. The Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, NINAS, has proposed a collective jailbreak to free everyone, not just for us to go and make noise and get money, but to free all the indigenous peoples from this awkward constitutional arrangement. My brother, what do you have to say about this, and what are the materials needed to achieve this goal?
Oh yeah, thank you, my sister. Yeah, we thank our heavenly Father that Nina's, you know, came into the flow. Nigeria Indigenous and Nationality Alliance for Self-Determination, NINAS, evolved from PRONACO, Movement for New Nigeria, or Movement for New Nigeria, as you want to term it. They undertook a painstaking analysis of the problems bedeviling that enclave called One Nigeria, and came up with the eye-opening conclusion that the source of all our woes, can be traced to this fraudulent 1999 constitution. Is it corruption? Just name it. Just name it. All our woes, they flow from that constitution. So this is a collective effort. It is a collective effort that has crystallized into a mass movement now. So NINAS has been able to mobilize indigenous nationalities in the Alliance territory to repudiate the fraudulent 1999 constitution. Because the 1999 constitution is fraudulent in that it lied against us, that we have agreed to live together. It lied against us that we have agreed to give to ourselves the so-called constitution. It lied against us that we voluntarily, willingly submitted our assets and sovereignty to the Caliphate. So NINAS also brought out to the core that you are talking of development. How can you develop when you have 68 items on the so-called fraudulent constitution that stifles development? Is it refinery? Is it healthcare, infrastructure? Is it what? Just 68 items that stifles development. So that's why Nigeria is what it is today. Some of us have been in diaspora, have been government in SF. You take care of your family's healthcare, you take care of your family's education, you take care of your family's feeding, you take care of everything. But now they are not even satisfied with that one. Huh? There's now a new term in town, which I think they call it Jakba. They want to leave. That they are not satisfied. The exclusion condition there is the conditions are so excruciating that they don't even want to live there. And if they live there, that's what the Caliphate want. If everybody lives there, then they will occupy the space. Look at Zongo Kataf. Look at everywhere they have gone to. Even in Igbo nation, they are planting their cells everywhere. So NINAS has succeeded in organizing the owners of the land in so-called solemn assemblies. They did one in the Lower Niger Federation Solemn Assembly, took place in Port Harcourt on the 27th of April 2015. Yoruba Nation had their own solemn assembly, September 2017 in Ibadan. Middle Belt, 8th July 2018 in Makurdi. Then on the 11th of December 2018, in what is also referred to as Freedom Park Proclamation, all the representatives of this alliance territory groups came to a collective repudiation of the 1999 constitution. So NINAS is the truth, the way, and the light. No one individual or ethnic nation can escape from Caliphate Prison, but only through a collective effort as spelled out by NINAS template. So NINAS is akin to CODESA. CODESA is a convention for a democratic South Africa. They used it, they succeeded. So NINAS template has been tested. It has worked very well. So we have the hope that is going to work for indigenous nationalities in Nigeria. So if you key into this NINAS template, no one can arrest you, no one can jail you, no one can maim you, no one can kill you, no one can accuse you of treason, because the obdurate Caliphate is the one guilty of treason against the owners of the land. Our NINAS spokesman has said that several times. So that should encourage us. That more so, it is a collective effort by owners of the land to mobilize themselves to go into transitioning for immediate reconfiguration or immediate dissolution, depending on the outcome of the stay or leave multi-regional referendum. I hang it there for now.
you so much. Our viewers, please continue to share, like, and subscribe, and hit the like button so that more people will see this show, this very informative show. Uh, please, we have listened to you. You followed everything because people don't understand that one thing leads to the other in self-determination project. It is a process. You don't just jump from one corner of your village and begin to shout freedom, 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 self-determination, self-determination, Igbo nation, Biafra Igbo nation. That is not how it's done anywhere in the world, except for those that are involved and those that are on the journey of stomach infrastructure, like my brother said. So, my people, once you see anybody that has not gone through the process, has not put process strategy in place that is can go from A to B to C until you get to Z, no gaps involved. Once there's nothing like that, that person, man or woman, old or young, what that person is doing is stomach infrastructure. All they want to do is to make enough noise so that the enemy, the colonial monsters, we call them, we notice them and give them money, give them their own cuts and their settlement, and they will go in and sit down. My sister has.
And it's similar everywhere. It's similar everywhere. Whether you go to Palestine, Pakistan, Ghana, they will see you. You make so much noise, they give you your own cut, and then you have bodyguards now. All those people that was making noise for you can't even come around you anymore because you have become one of them. So it's nothing new.
It's not new. Thank you so much for making our people know that it is not new. So if you allow yourself to be duped, if you want, those living in America, sell your property in America and give to them wherever they are. It is your retirement money you give to them. Those of you in a hurry, yes, we're in a hurry. We want freedom right now, right now. You want egusi soup, but you're not ready to go and blend the egusi. You're not ready to go and parboil the meat. You're not ready to go and get the oil, whether the oil is a good one or is the one that has been there since 1920 and you put it in your mouth, it's stale. You're not ready to do all that. What the white people will say, crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's. You're in a hurry. Yes, we want to do freedom. Be my guest. Give them all your money. The money that your children will use to live together tomorrow doesn't bother me. Because you are the one being duped, not me. It's you. It's on you. If you want, make noise. If you want, take picture. Travel to wherever. Take the money. Travel to wherever and take selfie. Be with the president or prime minister of Ndimo, of all the villages in your. It does not bother me. It's me and my sister. See, we are not bothered. Go and check when we started this journey. We're following a process and we'll be
The truth remains constant, whether you like it or not.
It is constant. Mm-hmm. So we only tell you, hey, yeah, when you get your old age and everything is gone, your retirement money is gone. The money that you would have used to give your children a bit, like at least manageable education or whatever, everything gone. When you come lamenting, because all these victims, they know how to lament. Hey, they did this to me. Hey, they did that to me. We'll say, hey, yeah. So, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful outing, Brother Isi Momodu. What are your final words? Because we need to mobilize our people. You have given us a template, and before we finish, we'll also mention the five-point agenda, from Ninas. So you've given us all this. We know that we're in the final phase of mobilization, where the people have to gather and embrace truth, because that's the thing about self-determination. That's why it's called self-determination. You don't do it on behalf of somebody else. As an Igbo woman, I'm not going to do it for Ijaw people. I'm not going to bring the freedom and say, oh, I bring up for Yoruba people. No, that's not how it's done. It's self-determination. Self, more, me and my people. This is how we want to live. So we'll decide this is how we want to live, and these are the terms. So I will not discuss with my neighbor. I say, okay, this is my neighbor. We have common view. Okay, we can be together. Let's work together. Or this other one, we don't have we are not we don't have common view. Our core values are not the same, so it might be better you relating with someone else. So this is a very simple that simple things. They're not very difficult, just that people not understanding it. So please, what are your final words, brother Isimamadu? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Final word. I have to say that people should keen to Nina's project. The liberation train that is getting to its destination. I want to encourage anybody desirous of serious change to go to www.ninas www.ninasvoice.org. Get more information, mobilize people, start from your family, mobilize your village, mobilize your entire community, your professional groups to enter the Ninas train that is taking us safely to our destination.
Thank you. Absolutely. So that's a good one. Like we keep reminding you guys on this show, we're already in a group. We're already in an association, organization. We're already in a, we are all in some place where we can actually share this information and we move. So it's not a, it's not what is the word Americans will use? It's not too hard to think about. So please, like he says, start with your family, right? Because if you can conquer your family, is it your neighbor with a dog, with a bulldog that you're going to conquer? So start with your family with that information, and then help us to share it all around. It's all about our collective jailbreak, not for gara, not for noise making, not for popularity contest, but for something that we can, get us where we need to be, so we can begin to live life with dignity. I'm going to pull up the 5-point agenda while my sister adds on.
Yes, thank you so much. We also want to tell our viewers, if you have a statesman or a stateswoman that from your own neck of the wood, my sister will always say, from your indigenous nation, that you feel this person is honest and truthful, and you want us to interview him or her, please let us know. You can put it in the comment there. You can send us message on our phone through via our phone or whatever you have available to you, so that we can bring them in. Of course, before we bring them in, we must do our own verification, to know whether what you're telling us is true, because the information is out there, and we will not play around. This platform, you don't do propaganda here. No political correctness, no lies, no let me bend it this way, bend it that way. We say it as it is. If it's church we want to hammer, we hammer the church on top of it very well. When we are done with church, you think that we have never entered church before. So because we are here to speak the truth. And if you don't like it, sorry, no apologies, but it's what it is. Only truth can set us free. Please, the tag is covering the lower part of the 5-point agenda. Thank
Oh,
you, Sister Mona.
thank you. Let me go back and take it out.
Okay. So
So if
please
you don't know
continue to
this,
share. Mhm.
huh?
No, go ahead. You said what? So
Me?
continue to help us to share, like, and subscribe. Those on YouTube, remember that when you subscribe, people there will see it immediately, and more of our videos will come out. We have over, I think it's up to 400 videos. So,
Jesus.
and more of them will be coming out. If you subscribe, follow, like, and we need this information to get out to our people. Thank you, Sister Mona. Please go ahead.
Right. And one of the things we do with that video is to break it down for you so that you're not watching the long portion of feedback, rather you're watching the small version, so that you can encourage yourself to do even more. All right, moving on to the Nina's 5-point Nina's point agenda. The first one is an acknowledgement of the grave constitutional grievances raised in union disputes as declared. The second one is an express commitment to the commission the imposed 1999 Unitary Constitution. The third one is an express commitment to share further national elections under the 1999 Constitution in order to initiate an immediate transitioning process for fresh constitutional protocols. An invitation to the constituent people of Nigeria, that form one, an invitation to the constituent people of Nigeria to work out the modalities for transitioning arrangements, including mandate timeframe, membership, and ancillary matters. And the last but not least, the one that will lead us all the way out, an announcement of a time-bound two-stage transitioning process, which shall, in the first stage, feature multi-regional referendums by which constituent components shall recommit to or opt out of the Nigerian Union, and in the second, the state terms of union as may be dictated by the outcome of the referendums. So, if you don't have this information about Nina's, don't tell us about who you know and who you ate angara with and who you took picture with. Like, it does not matter. If you call yourself a man, like my sister said, I want to look good, or you see this my hair, there's so many stars I want to do with it, but because the house is on fire, I usually pull it back and keep it running. So please, if you are the one that wants to be part of what we're doing, come out. Come out and do your work. Come out. We are not trying to take your position. Like my sister said, if you're not going to do it because sake of our children, we will come out and get it done. But we want you guys to come on. So thank you, our viewers. I think, Sister, do we have anything else to add?
Except if there's anyone that wants to call in. I doubt if they will, but I just in case there's someone there saying, okay, me, I think this is the old number. Okay. The number again is +1 979 488 9034. Once again, +1 979 488 9034. Do call in, ask questions, make comment. We're just saying that to give you benefit of the doubt because
No, I just really want to encourage our people. This coming out to speak in public is not something that a lot of us are endowed with. I'm
that's
definitely
true.
one of the people that like to hide in the background. Even when I'm hiding, they will say, "Hey, you over there." But you know what I realized? Why we that really cares for other people are hiding in the background. The wicked ones are out there shouting and speaking.
So true.
So we don't need you, please. Whatever it is, that spirit of hiding, oh, I don't want to talk, I don't want to be heard, oh, I'm going to make a mistake when I speak. It's okay. The children of Lucifer are making mistakes and destroying everything, and they are still running things. So please, don't be embarrassed, don't be shy, be encouraged. If we begin to tell you where we came from, we have a story of Jonah to tell you. We really run into the fish, the stomach of the fish, just to hide from speaking until we have to say, okay, please bring me out. I will begin to speak. So
It's
go ahead.
yeah, it's so like, of course, I'm not surprised anymore. It's so strange that you're saying this because I had this conversation with my cousin, one of my cousins yesterday. Why is it that like all this? So I was exactly saying the same thing you're saying. That why we are hearing all this is that the evil ones, though fewer in number, make so much noise.
Oh my gosh.
Then the good ones that are more in number, because they usually don't talk, they say, let them be doing. Oh, I don't just want to be involved. I don't want to annoy anyone. I don't want to say this. I don't want to offend anyone. And you keep quiet. And you now keeping quiet, we make the voices of those evil ones to be louder and louder. So if you want darkness to overtake, you reduce lights. But if you want darkness to go down, you increase lights. So I support my sister. Please come out of your shell. Come out from under the table.
Come out, because God will put you in the stomach of a fish. You better come out.
If you don't.
Come out. So, John, what is being done, don't worry about your use of English language. That's fraud, the biggest fraud of the century, okay? I don't speak. I'm a strategist. Here. You'll be asking who did it. And all I have to do, one swing of my eyes, things will start happening. So you don't have to be a speaker. You don't have to be the best, use your terms more correctly. And it's okay if you can, but we don't want you to be deterred because you can't.
Yeah.
We are looking for the doers. Because we have realized the hand of they don't do anything. They speak English very well, they do all this thing very well. When it's time to get things done, they how.
And most of the time, why they're saying that is because they're deficient in working. So they want to use that to distract people. So you see them talking and there's no strategy, there's nothing on ground, or they talk blah, 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 blah. So they're marketers. They're really marketers. They just they're either marketing themselves, marketing their people, marketing the resources, marketing something. And you find out that most of these dupes, there are always people that will say, oh, so eloquent, is so there's a word they use, like when that, because they know how to use their words and put this one, put here, put this one, but what they're doing is marketing. They are prepackaging and packaging and repackaging and duping our people. For you to be 419, you have to know how to use words to bamboozle people. So let's stop allowing those that want to bamboozle us with words to take over the space. Come out. Even if it's Igbo you want to speak, if it's Yoruba you want to speak, whatever local language you want to speak, please come and say it. If we don't understand the language, our viewers will understand it.
Yes.
And we have pidgin English. Use pidgin English. Use anything. Don't bother about the language. We don't care about the language. Just the sincerity of your heart. Nothing.
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 They can quote the whole encyclopedia. They don't know anything when it's time to execute. So please be encouraged. Show up and show out. Let your light shine. Don't dim it anymore for the children of Lucifer to be coming around and making noise and shouting because they know how to speak. If you don't know how to speak, in short, we are looking for you.
Yes.
You are invited. If you are afraid of, oh, my English words are not very good, I'm shy, you are the one we are looking for. Come out.
Yep.
Come out and join what we're doing because they have destroyed the universe with their words. They know how to use. They will commit crime. They'll tell you they embellish their resume.
Yeah.
When you take your resume, you call it embellish. You know how to use all the words. But when it's time to execute, nothing to show for it.
Now.
Yes. Please come out. Don't be shy. Don't be whatever. Come out. Come out. We're here for you. You can call us on that phone number if you want to speak privately, to be encouraged. We want you to be able to use your own talent because there is a talent in you. So thank you so much for watching us. Help us to share this video. Our sister Oma Jesu Omachi say we can interpret every. Oh, okay. Thank you, sister. She said we can interpret every language. Awesome.
Good.
So maybe if you come out and speak it in a way other people can understand, we'll allow our viewer, Oma Jesu, Omachi, will help us interpret. Please come out. Come out. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. I'm telling you, come out. Come out. You have work to be done. And I know you'll do a stellar job. So until next week, remain safe. We shall see you then. Thank you so much. Help us to share this information, please. Let it go far and wide. Thank you.
Thank you.